Hi, this is going to be one of my update videos. So the last update video I uploaded was in July, and it was an update on what I'd been up to in June. So it was recorded like start of July because that's when June's ended, and covered all of June. And we're now in September and I haven't done a July update and I haven't done an August update. That's because the last 2 months have been so busy. So the best place to start logically is probably July, and it feels like it's really hard to think back what happened because so much has happened in that time. So July was a really busy month because the children were finishing school. I was trying to plan things for them to do over the summer holidays, which is like mid-July to the end of August. It was also my husband's birthday was coming up. His is at the end of July, and my daughter's birthday is in August, at the start of August. So there was a lot going on in July that wasn't really book related. I did work a little bit on my novel, and I was also on Sky Heart, but I was also preparing for the book festival, which I was going to be doing at the start of August, which was Legends Comic Con.
This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made.
And I really wanted to do my July update so I could like promote that event, but that event has now happened. And I'm planning on hopefully doing a video that's about all the book festivals that I've done this year, because it has been a great year so far of book festivals. So May was Hertz Book Festival, June was Felixstowe Book Festival, August was legends.com at Ston and Barnes, and I've just come back from a festival this month in September, which was the MK Lit Fest, which I will obviously talk about more soon. So in July, the main project was trying to get my book through the final edit and get it sent off to my formatter so that then I could get the page count, for the final page count once it's all been formatted and edited and everything, so that my cover designer could create the spine for my book and then also do the back page as well for me. But my editor had been unwell, which had caused delays, so I didn't get the editing back. It was either the end of June or early July, so I was working on that. I then was going to send it off to my formatter, but decided that I would take up an offer from my author friend Cassidy Rain. She does supernatural, paranormal, romance, suspense. No, she does romantic suspense novels and paranormal romance series as well. So she's got these 2 series going. She's absolutely lovely and always supported me all the way. And she'd offered when I did Ocean Heart, because she was one of my ARC readers, that if I ever needed a proofreader before I published, that she'd be happy to do it, because she picked up some things in Ocean Heart which we got fixed before it went to publication. There'll be more on this soon. So anyway, I sent it off to Cassidy to ask her if she could just have a little read through, let me know what she thinks. And her feedback was really helpful, but she was also like, some of these things your editor will pick up in the final edit. Now, I'd already gone through the final edit, so I was a little bit worried that that was one of her feedback comments for me. So this caused me a little bit of panic, like, do I do the edits and put it out there? Because it's already had like a developmental edit, it's had the copy and final edit, it's now had the proofread, yeah. And I was like, I've already been promoting that Sky Heart is coming out. So I was like desperate for it to go out. But I was like, my husband was like, you want it to be right. And he's always right about this. I'm like, I just want to get there. And it's so frustrating that it takes so long. But he's right. I want it to get it right. Because I would be so disappointed if I put it out there and I didn't feel proud. I've got to go up there and stand there and talk about my book. And if I'm embarrassed by it, not going to be easy sell. So I then started querying 2 editors that I have a lot of respect for. They both came back to me with different quotes. One was quite busy with a lot of jobs at the time. The other one was an editor that I didn't think I would be able to afford because she's out of my price bracket. But she kindly asked me how much would I be how much was I thinking to pay. So I just advised her what my current editor charges me, and she said that she would do it for that price, which is, I'm so thankful for. So the reason I didn't go back with my original editor is because I know that she's very unwell, and I didn't want her to feel under pressure when she's already dealing with all her health issues to try and get my book back to me. I also didn't want her health to cause any more delays. So I thought that this was probably a good solution. Like, let's get a fresh pair of eyes on it. I'm going to go with this editor. Obviously it's going to cost me more money because this is money I didn't think I was going to be spending. I didn't think I was going to have another edit. So that is what is going on. The earliest she can squeeze me in, she said, would be in 2 months' time, which is in October. So it hasn't come back from edit yet. So I'm waiting. I've updated my formatter and my cover designer of the delays. They've both been amazing and so supportive and understanding. And they're just like, just let us know when it's ready, and then they'll just book me in. So at the moment, there is still no release date for Sky Heart because I don't want to put a release date out there and not be able to meet it. I'm so glad I didn't do this months ago, because if I'd put a release date, I would have felt forced to publish my book before it is ready, and that is not something I want to ever feel I have to do, to put something out that's not quite right. So that's where Sky Heart has got to, and what's caused delays. So that was July. We also had like sports days, end of term days, comes to the kids' work days, all that crazy stuff going on. We went on a holiday to Great Yarmouth to stay in a caravan, which the kids absolutely loved. We didn't get very much sleep. The kids just like so excited, they just would not sleep. So it was a bit of a nightmare for me and my husband, not so much of a holiday, but we did also have lots of fun. We went around Great Yarmouth Sea Life Centre, went for a walk along Great Yarmouth Promenade. There was this gorgeous sandy beach right where the caravan was. So yeah, it was just a lovely weekend. There was so much to do there. If you've not been to Great Yarmouth, I definitely recommend it, and we probably would go again because it was really good. I just might get the kids separate bedrooms so they don't like keep messing about keeping each other up, so maybe we'll get some sleep. Also, other things that took me away from writing during July was the insurance claim. So as you may know, we had a leak in our dining room. The dining room leak was traced into the kitchen. This was back in October of last year, and it is still going on because every time they find something, they find that there's a bit more and it's a bigger job. So we come back from a holiday in Great Yarmouth. That's when the people here came with the pods. The pod was so that we would have somewhere to use when we don't have a kitchen. So it's like a little mini caravan. You can use one appliance at a time. It's very, very basic, just kitchen, just dining room, but better than no kitchen at all, which would be the situation I'd be in right now if we didn't have the pod. So I've got my mini pod kitchen on my driveway. Then then the guys came to take stuff into storage. So that was a little bit stressful because I was like, what do I want to go into storage? Because I need most stuff to go to storage because we don't have much space to store anything. Like, if you can see my front room, my house right now, there is just mess everywhere because there's just not any space to store anything because we've lost 2 rooms basically in the house, dining room and the kitchen. So I had to try and make big decisions. What do I need? What don't I need? And I did all right. I mean, there's a few things that I've realised afterwards that I wish I hadn't put in storage. One of those would be baking trays. I didn't realise until I went to go cook something in the oven that I didn't have baking trays. So so we had to go buy some new baking trays, but that's my own fault. And my old ones were quite old, so I probably needed new baking trays anyway. So that was a little bit stressful. So they came. Then these guys came who were to rip out my kitchen. So they ripped out my kitchen, all the units came out, and then they realised that there was asbestos. So then they were like, we can't do any more. They left all the carcasses and rubbish in my dining room. This was not ideal because nobody wanted to pick up carcasses, that the unit box thing, the cupboard bit, from my dining room. They would only pick up from the driveway. It was a massive wooden oak worktop. So it was a lot, and that blocked the light and the exit from my house to the garden, so the kids couldn't go out in the garden. They couldn't get any sunlight into the house because that was all blocking it. At the front of the house, the pod was blocking the front window, so we could get no sunlight in from that way. And it also makes meals a little bit chaotic because I have to think, what am I going to cook? What order am I going to use the appliances in to make it work? And I don't really like leaving the kids in the house on their own, and I have took the kids out to the pod But you can imagine it, as soon as I sit down to cook anything, suddenly they need a wee or they need something else and run back in the house. And I also have to think about everything I need to take out to the pot. So when we come, we don't eat out there because it's a little bit small and cramped, so we bring the food in the house to eat, and then we have to take all the dirty stuff back out to the house to be washed up. Oh, and it has got a washing machine in the pod. The washing machine takes an hour and 20 minutes, whereas it's not my old washing machine, because eventually it will be my washing machine again. My original washing machine, the longest cycle took 39 minutes. So again, and I kind of have the washing machine on if I'm cooking. So again, I have to plan, when am I going to wash clothes? So there's a lot of planning going into using the pod. But yes, better than no kitchen, I know. So that was all going on at home with the kids at home. I'm juggling my work around my husband's hours, to try and save on holiday, because nobody has enough holiday to work and take time off to look after the kids. So we're trying to make it work by like going around his shift patterns and stuff like that. So it was me and my husband were literally like ships apart in the night. Obviously, we're working mornings. He was working late in the afternoon, or we were taking the holiday because neither of us could cover it. So one of us was off. We also had contractors coming in. So then these other people would come in, test the asbestos. Is it asbestos? Yes, it's asbestos. Yeah, so I'm not going to bore you with all my kitchen stuff. It's still going on now. I mean, somebody came today to try and dry my kitchen, and it's September, and they decided they can't dry the kitchen because they're worried that the asbestos might blow around. So for their own safety, they've done their own test. We had somebody else come out to do air quality to make sure the air hasn't got asbestos. So yeah, but we're at the point now where we are able to start picking out new cupboards and appliances and stuff like that. That have been damaged from all the pulling out and moving around and everything else. So yeah, that's my kitchen. So you can see how that could be quite a major distraction from writing. On top of that, having the kids at home is always a big distraction because they do take all my attention.